What is the difference between train and educate? The perceived difference is that education is the knowledge base that allows for the practical, physical application of what has been taught. This application is considered training. This thought process raises a question. What good is it to educate if you never train? The principles of knowledge management would postulate that information that is held but not implemented in meaningful ways is useless. When considering Army ROTC and the Army in general, I believe these two words, educate and train, are but two lanes of the same road. However, I did not realize the ties that bind these two topics until I had attended CST and one semester under my belt. After attending CST, I identified several areas that could be improved within the Wabash Battalion. First and foremost is the need to implement a more aggressive approach to educating the mind and training the body for a ruck march. With this in mind, we began to institute a minimum of 1 week per month for all MS3s that is focused on ruck marching in lieu of a traditional in-class setting. This is pretty easy when the class meets 1 day a week for 3 hours. However, the cadets needed to learn how to mentally embrace the suck while physically enduring the requirement. Each month, the distance and weight changes as well as the route. However, the cadre has the opportunity to audible the workout to create a friction that can cause more self-development than when just walking a set distance to a specific time. Another area that was discovered over the last year is the lack of military historical knowledge by cadets. Why is history so important? Everyone has heard the famous quote from Edmund Burke that those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. This premise is important for young cadets and officers in general to understand. Yes, the fact is a course in military history is a requirement for commissioning. However, is the class taught from a viewpoint that just provides overarching themes, or does it look at leadership successes and failures? Does it look at the tactics involved with the specific battle? What information can we gain for a future in military service? To build adept leaders that have knowledge in many facets, we began to require our MS3s to write a paper and prepare a presentation on a historical military leader from U.S. history, focusing on successes and failures in one semester and a historical battle in the next, providing a new depth to the military and linking the cadets to a rich history that has not always been bright and shiny. These are just a few ways that we have refocused education and training in meaningful ways. Whether you work on a campus of 40,000 students or 2,000 students, one of the most important challenges we face is recruiting the right student to participate in Army ROTC. There are plenty of students out there who possess the ability to get good grades and are physically fit, but we are looking for something more than that. We are looking for the student who has the desire to serve their nation and be part of something bigger than themselves. It is critical we find the right student that possesses these qualities as a baseline so that we can develop them over their ROTC career to become leaders of character to lead in tomorrow's Army. It is important we find these students that are willing to serve in all components, active, guard, and reserve, so that we can strengthen the total Army. Sometimes our best are that diamond in the rough we found and presented the opportunity. They competed for a campus-based scholarship and then allowed themselves to be developed into the best leader they could be. That is where the real challenge in recruiting comes in. How do we find that cadet? Here are 3 techniques or focus areas that have worked well for us in the Wabash Battalion. Student orientations and freshman seminar. This may sound simple and obvious, but it can be easy to neglect. In some instances, we do not know about or have the ability to get into our freshman seminar classes. As an example, at the University of Southern Indiana, we were able to grow total program participation by 60% from spring 17 to fall 17. Included within that growth is a freshman class in which we have more than 30 students enrolled. We were able to accomplish this in large part by having a display at every new student orientation. This equated to 17 touchpoints with thousands of students that are potentially tomorrow's leader. Additionally, we were able to work with deans to gain access to hundreds of more freshman students through guest presentations in the freshman seminar classes offered by the university. What we found is most simply don't know the opportunities with Army ROTC that exist right on their campus unless we make the effort to go out and present them to the students. Secondly, our relationship with the Army National Guard units and recruit sustainment detachments. Another way to find the best recruits and increase the level of competition and training within your program is to recruit prior service candidates who are already serving in the National Guard or Reserves. SMP cadets bring training and experience and a disciplined lifestyle that comes only from having served in the military. We have established a battle rhythm through our campus-based Army National Guard officer strength recruiters of visiting units and recruit sustainment detachments nearly every month to talk to soldiers who might be thinking about advancing their career and becoming an Army officer to lead other soldiers. And third, athletic departments and club sports. If you work at a school that doesn't have much of a budget for athletic scholarships, recruiting by relationship building with your school's athletic department is an endeavor worth embarking on. By nature, student athletes are motivated, high-performing individuals, and as a result, a perfect fit for Army ROTC. They bring with them higher than average GPAs and outstanding physical fitness. Although the challenge of recruiting high-caliber leaders can be a daunting one, maybe more challenging than that is retaining, training, and inspiring them. This can only be done through challenging, engaging, and fun training, inspiring them to be the best they can be and serve something bigger than themselves.
Train and inspire. As cadre, we're tasked to inspire cadets to become officers and leaders of character in the U.S. Army and the nation. The difficult task we have as cadre is to help our cadets find their inspiration and produce their motivation to act upon. As Captain Eric Eshelman, University of Michigan APMS, mentioned in his forum video, inspiration and motivation are different, yet they are similar. Ron Prasad published an article titled The Difference Between Motivation and Inspiration. In this article, he states that inspiration is something that you feel on the inside, while motivation is something from the outside that compels you to take action. So what this boils down to is inspiration is a driving force, while motivation is a pulling force. So what is the cadets? What is our inspiration? Like, what gives us our drive? And then our motivation is, what are our motives? Like, what are our goals that we're being pulled to accomplish? So what can we do to inspire our cadets internally and drive them towards developing their external motivations? So our answer to this is the profession of arms, pulled from the profession of arms white papers where these extracts are from. The U.S. military is one of the few true professions, alongside medicine, theology, and law. Like, these are the 4 social trustee forms of the profession. Our profession is a calling, not a job. Our cadets need to understand the responsibility and the prestige of our profession. They will be the future stewards of our profession. Thus we must educate, train, and inspire them to carry this honor forward. One of the ways we inspire our cadets to become a part of our profession is through our Norwegian Foot March. This foreign badge-producing event hosts military participants from over 26 states and ranges between 400 and 600 different participants across multiple MOSs and ranks throughout our military. This experience helps for our cadets to see a glimpse outside of our small AO. Even though the participants who show up are strangers, they are inherently bonded because they too have volunteered and answered the call. Ultimately, we are the example. We are the true stewards of the profession to our cadets. They will personify what they see us do and how we act. So how we act, what we say, what we do, this is the impression that our cadets will foster. So we need to be the strong leaders of character who inspire and mentor our cadets to be the future leaders of tomorrow and stewards of our profession.